Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's main event. We have Mayo Hosko coming at you at 60 frames per second, 4K resolution, no sugar, no filler, just real whole egg. Let's get ready to Lego!
Hello, it's me, Mayo Hosko, coming to you at 60 frames per second in 4K resolution. No sugar, no filler, just real whole egg, and welcome to my channel.
Mayo Hosko, it's your boy, JP.
Real whole egg. Everybody say real whole egg. Real whole egg.
Real whole egg.
Real whole egg.
There we go. Capture that, Mayo. That's for you. That's for you.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to Mayo Hosko. Go check them out. Real Whole Egg, a really fun show.
Everyone say real whole egg at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Real
whole egg.
Sweet. I'll cap that and then add it to the intro.
Real
Whole egg.
eggs.
Oh, our timing was off, but
Do we go
that's
slowly
okay.
or fast?
I think that was fine. Is that fine, or do you want us to
Yes,
do it
because
slow?
I actually prefer it when people do it all out of sync because that makes it more authentic.
Yeah.
Everyone on the panel say it at the same time. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What are we saying again?
Real whole egg.
Whole egg.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Real
Whole egg.
Egg.
Close enough.
Well, if you don't mind me saying, a little bit of no sugar, no filler, a whole lot of real whole egg coming up on these Fridays.
Hello, Miss Zambi here, saying real whole egg. Mayo Hosko channel. So check it out.
Real whole egg. There we go. I don't know what else you want. Wait, why am I... Are you talking about like what goes well with mayo? Also, how did you even come up with the name Mayo Hosko? Like, do you just love mayo? I don't know.
Rolling into the chat, we gotta give a shout out. No sugar, no filler, just real whole egg. Splat out. That's what I'm talking about. Mayo Hosko. 2 whoop salute, Mayo. Welcome to the jankiness.
For Mayo Hosko, I give you a real whole egg. Wait, where did all these other eggs come from? What in the name of the Emperor is going on?
Everyone make sure to send in your videos of saying real whole egg and I'll add you to the intro. Thank you.
What's the buzz?
Take it home with you.
What's up, buddy?
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 43 of Real Whole Egg. We're going to talk about CMFs today.
And I'm still getting a few things set up here. And I got some CMFs of my own to bring out. But I'm actually out here working in the garage because I have more room out here to work on mocks. I got a whole table. I don't know if you can see. I got a whole one of these big fold-up plastic tables that I can work off out here, and in the Lego room, it's just pretty tight. So, about to grab a few things and bring it out here so that way I can build and hang out with you guys for the next couple hours.
And I'm back to building. I'm back to building condition finally, and let's get the Twitch
Very nice
started. Let's get the Twitch stream started. Okay, now we're live on Twitch.
All right, give me 2 seconds and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab those. I'm gonna go grab that mock and a couple other things.
So I'm continuing to build the UCS X-Wing.
You're making some good progress. Look how big that is. Holy smokes.
Yeah, my table has become a catch-all, so I've just got to move some stuff off before we get started here. So I apologize. That's the stickers. And I've got some medication and coins. And so I've just got a lot of random junk on my table. And we're going to get into some interesting stuff later today, because I have a few announcements along with talking about collectible minifigures. We're going to have a fun time. So I hope everyone out there has had a good week. And we're going to be talking about boxes versus bags. And we're also going to be talking about the scannable codes on the boxes of the CMFs. Because I was commenting on someone's video about it, and someone in the comments had some insight to help me out with something related to the CMFs. And so we're gonna get into that later. But I am not having the best of times right now because I'm in the midst of a lot of homework. And that means that I don't have a lot of time to do Lego stuff. I'm kind of juggling a lot of stuff at once. The only thing Lego related that I'm doing is working on my mock for Brick World Chicago. And if you want to see the progress of that coming along, you can go pledge to me on Patreon. The link is in the description. And so I also need to work on another video to be uploaded after my next video comes out on Sunday, Monday. And I'm working on a Truth About Brick World Chicago video. So that might be the video that'll come out after my next video. It might be. I need to do some narrations. Or I might be able to film something goes with it when that comes out. So you'll eventually see what that becomes, but I'm still up in the air about a lot of stuff to come out before I go to Brick World Chicago. And so all of that,
But you're looking forward to that.
All of that, of course, will be early access to my pledges on Patreon. So let's get out the next bag for the X-Wing, which is bag 5.
How many bags are on there total?
I think there was 14 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So let me skip forward in the instructions to the next steps. I believe we're building the stand now. Because The last time I built any Lego besides my mock I'm building was 2 weeks ago.
You've been busy trying to get everything squared back away, especially with university, right?
Yeah, and I've had a very inconsistent sleep schedule. So let's move that down there. So we need to open these bags.
So, chat. Hey, Dave Britt. Hey, Trev. Who else? Hey, Gladiator. Johnny G, you're the man.
Okay, there's that. So now we can get started building. But before we get started building, who do we have in the chat? So we have co-host, Johnny G's alternate, Johnny G, Gladiator Bricks Productions, Trev's Reborn, Dave Bricks 76, and that's everyone so far. Yeah.
Gladiator Bricks says when he comes in the chat, he wants a scene from Gladiator, the "Are you not entertained" scene.
I might do that eventually. I've just
I know you gotta re-edit all that.
Yeah. I've just been really out of it lately, if I'm gonna be honest.
Fair enough.
And my sleep schedule is all over the place. And it's really put a damper on my enthusiasm for these streams. And it also doesn't help that I have to get up at 10:30 a.m. to do these things. So, the reasons why I want to talk about CMFs today is because there are some CMFs that I want to buy, but not from the stores, from individual sellers. And I need to look at some sellers on Bricklink to see how cheap I can get one of the goat farmers from the previous series, the M-Tron guy, the Blacktron guy, and the Ice Planet girl from the current series. Because I'm a space fan, and I grew up with Ice Planet and Blacktron. But I do have an appreciation for the M-Tron. And so I was really disappointed when the Space CMFs got released and there wasn't more throwbacks to vintage Space. So we're actually going to take a figure by figure look at the current series and the previous series of CMFs to give my thoughts about them, because I haven't really given my thoughts about any of the CMFs since I bought a whole box of Series 24. And since that time, 2 CMF series have come since. And I've never really properly explained.
That's what
I've never really properly explained my
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I've never really properly.
Yeah, I was gonna say. No, I was gonna say that.
Why do you keep cutting?
I think there's a lag on my end or something.
Cutting out. Yeah. Yeah, there's something going on there.
Hold on a second. We're gonna figure something out.
Yeah, we got to get that figured out. I'm gonna rotate this so that the viewers can get a better shot at what I'm building here. That's something I've always struggled with when I'm building Lego sets on camera, is trying to get the right angle. And you know what? I'm gonna move the ship itself to be at the back here, just so that y'all can get a better shot of what I'm building here. And let's put this front and center. That's better. Yeah, so...
Am I cutting out now, or can you hear me better?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Just for
I think I got it
reason,
squared
there's a
away. I
feed.
think it was the AC.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. But then there's
There is a delay in between us. I wonder why.
Yeah, something's going on there. Where's the head for this guy?
Hold on, we're gonna try something else. Hold on.
There should be a head for the pilot. This head gets stuck in here.
Way there now?
I can hear you. No, the head didn't get stuck in there. Oh, I don't know where his head's gone. That's really weird. I have no idea what's just happened to his head. That's really bizarre.
It probably just rolled under something.
And that's what I'm trying to see.
Seems like the delay's not as bad now.
Because the heads sometimes get into tight nooks and crannies without me knowing. Well, I'll find that eventually, but let's build the astromech. Let's get this astromech droid built. And it is R2-D2. Let's see how bad...
It'll pop its head out here or some way.
Let's see how bad the crookedness is. Oh, it's not all that crooked. It's a pretty straight detailing. Normally, yeah, there's a slight crookedness. It's... If this is the front of R2-D2, there's a slight crookedness towards the left. The left-hand side is slightly raised, if you followed the blue line, it's slightly raised onto the blue line. Oh, it's backwards, is it? Is this the right way then, Trevs? People can let me know if I built that correctly. But bag 5 is probably the smallest of the bags because it's just doing the stand. And this stand is a lot smaller than the one for the UCS Luke's Land Speeder. I'll tell you that. Yeah. So anyway, going back to the CMFs, I'll need to explain my decision to not want to collect the whole series anymore because there's a variety of factors. And I remember when the CMFs came out, because I was 9 years old, and I honestly thought back then they were going to be a passing fad, and they have become the opposite of that. I believe the first series I got a figure from was series 3, because when I went to see a movie in 2012 or 2011, there was a popcorn and drink combo deal at one of the movie theaters. And weirdly, it included a random Lego CMF in it, which was really bizarre. And I don't know why they did it, but I got one of the Space Guys from Series 3 of CMFs for whatever reason.
Hey, buddy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, I'm going to switch back to the Lego room because I think I'm too far away from the Wi-Fi out here. Give me 2 seconds and I'll be right back on. So I'm just going to have to leave so I can move my computer and everything.
Yeah.
So, all right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I didn't think I was going to have this problem out here, but I just don't have any Wi-Fi in the garage.
Unfortunately.
Well, I mean, can you hear me? Is it working right now? If it's working right now, we'll just leave it like this.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I just had my girlfriend get off of Netflix also, so I think that may have been the problem.
Maybe there was a bandwidth issue.
Yeah, I think it is, because now it seems to be working fine.
Yeah. We're always going to give you the best technical information on Real Whole Egg.
That's somebody cussing because they're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, the first time I remember getting a CMF in the stores was for Series 5, and it was the lizard guy, which I remember he got to a $40 value the last time I checked. I'll actually probably go to Bricklink and see what his current value is, but I've still got him tucked away somewhere. And the first series that I got the complete collection of was Series 14, because I went back onto eBay and got a lot of the old series. The first complete series I remember getting when they were newly available was Series 15. And for the longest of time, I did not care about the CMFs. It just wasn't something I collected. Because I wasn't interested in the minifigures at all in sets. Nowadays, I have a small appreciation for some of the minifigures. So I'm less anti-minifigure than what I used to be.
Some of the CMFs don't really make much sense to me, but I know it's all because they've got their own following. But like for example, they did like the Simpsons CMF minifigs. I mean, those wouldn't really go in my city or anything. They did the same thing with the Disney CMFs. It's a bunch of like Mickey Mouse and Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket and stuff, and I just wouldn't have anywhere for those in my city either. So, I mean, I guess everybody's like a collector, and so they were just looking for a new series or whatnot, but I don't know. Some of those just don't make much sense to me.
Now, when you say whatnot, is that the phrase or the company?
That's definitely the phrase. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't.
I forget that it's even a company.
Yeah, it wasn't until the Disney Series 1 CMFs came out that I realized that people sell the complete collections on eBay.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And so when I discovered that, I decided to not buy CMFs from the stores anymore.
Because then you could just go on eBay and buy the whole thing and not waste your time and money on trying to find the ones you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Because it was just not economical for me. And I didn't want to have... It would have been slightly cheaper if I was to go into the store and get successful in feeling the bags.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to do that because where I used to live, there wasn't a lot of places that actually sold CMFs. I guess my neighborhood, the department stores in my neighborhood, I guess they just weren't hot sellers. Because I remember they started out sitting on the Lego shelves in stores, and then they put it behind the customer service desk, and then they stopped selling them entirely.
Yeah, so that's what they've gotten to down here also, is that they used to put them out on the shelves. They don't do that anymore. Then they used to put them up by the front counters where you would check out. They'll be right there by the checkouts. But now they don't even do that anymore. I think they kept getting them stolen too much. Stolen or open.
Yeah, it was really weird. But now the area that I'm at, that's not the case. And even some of the supermarkets in my area are selling the Series 26 CMFs right now.
Yeah,
which
they got the
you really hit the jackpot when you have department stores and supermarkets selling CMFs in your area.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It's an echo. Hey, clever pig.
Hey, pig, oink oink. Yeah, so it was a weird dynamic in my old neighborhood.
I'm gonna go get some parts. I'll be right back.
And I'll never fully understand the reason why. Okay, so now we're getting the sloped angle for this thing.
And so this can move up and down until we place these struts in. Okay, so which hole that goes on?
Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. I'll go grab some parts. Give 2 seconds.
The second hole from there. Okay. Now that's fitting on nicely. Okay, there we go. So that's the stand. Something is creating friction at the bottom here. So there's the stand. And I can put the plug on right here. Let's get this secured properly. There we go. We got the plug right there. And I will never know what happened to this guy's head. R2-D2 doesn't have any hands to hold the lightsaber. But the figure was supposed to go right here. Hello, the book is live. So, yeah. Now we can start bag 6.
On to another bag already?
Yeah.
Very nice. Killing it.
Because I must say, the stand for this was much simpler than the stand for...
Did you see Brick is Life came in?
Yes. For the UCS Luke's Land Speeder.
Oh, okay, very nice. Yeah, I forgot you had that one. Hey, Brick is Life, you about ready for that show? It's June 8th and 9th, by the way, at the Orange County Convention Center.
So before I start building for bag 6, we're going to read. We're going to read some people's comments from my content this week. I need to switch accounts because I've been messing around with the studio of my train channel.
And Brick is Life, you're exactly right. Go ahead, Mayo. I was just addressing her. She said it's at Deezerland Park in Orlando, and you're absolutely correct. It is. I just looked at it right now. It's called Brick Fan Expo. So more than likely I am going to that one, by the way.
Okay, now
I'm not sure what day I'll go.
Okay. Now we got the comments there. So let's read some comments.
Guys, I should really make a reading your comments video. Great job. This is the best thing I've ever seen since yesterday.
Good. What high praise, man. What a great comment.
Too much cliffhanger, not enough story, craves more story, am very sad.
Am very
Nice.
sad, dude.
So he was scarped.
I've been scarped before. It's not fun.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got seven comments. So I uploaded the video. Why did YouTube change the algorithm? Thanks for 700 subscribers. And Mikey J Productions said, congrats on 700. I'm gonna say thanks for your support. And Miss Amby also said that. And I'm going to say the same thing. And they're both getting hearts. And then Nate, Mr. Blue said, great video, Mayo, have a great week. I'm going to say, I didn't, because homework is a bitch. And then on my Lego Trains at Brickvention video, at Neil Rustling -JE6Zo said, if your carriage is less than 40 studs, then you're doing it wrong. The length should be 5 times the height. So a 8 stud high should be 40 long to be in proportion. Engines do their own thing. That's why all these teeny passenger carriages look off with their tiny 28 or 32 studs. Get 44 to look right. Remember to include the 3 studs for the wheels and base plate. I'm giving that a heart. And I was saying, you can let the builders know that when you see them at conventions, proportions are vital for scale models. And then Sharon Stevens also said, congratulations. And I'm going to put up a party emoji. And then I did a poll about the Harrison Butker situation. So we got two comments. Clicking Cliff said, in his religious beliefs, he's Catholic and speaking at a Catholic school. Speaking of Catholic ways, people just taking it out of proportion. I'm giving that a heart and say, yes, a lot of people are passing words.
You know how it goes, Mayo. Love and acceptance until they don't love or accept it.
And being over dramatic. And then Ben's Brick Design said he told a crowd full of graduating college women that their biggest accomplishments in life would be likely be their marriage and having babies. Sure, speak of tolerance and compassion and other values you may have, but read the room. I'm going to give that a heart and say, yes, unfortunately, the room has changed, but some people haven't. And was there anyone that got held for review? No, there was nothing. So that was all the comments from this week. And let's see if there's anything else. Oh, we got Lego Team B.
Yep, buzz.
Yeah. So before I get back to building, is there anything interesting going on in the chat? Oh, Trev said there's a double rainbow outside his house.
Double rainbow.
RC is always here. He's just building an aqua zone mock, and also says, RC, I'd play under the sea with that thing. And Trev says,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not enthusiastic about the space CMFs. RC is always showing his Lego. And anything else? Dave says, I was an altar boy for 7 years. When I was young, had no choice, family very religious. Yeah, I never went to church as a child, even though I live in the city of churches, and there was about 4 different churches in my old neighborhood. Really, the only time I went to church was for fight class and voting. So anyway,
Was what class?
When I went to fight class.
Oh.
I don't like talking about the field of fighting that I did.
Oh, I thought you said night class, not fight class. I thought you said night class.
No, I would never take a class at night unless it was from the School of Vintage Lego. And speaking of the School of Vintage Lego, when I get done with my homework, when I get done with one of these classes, with one of my assignments.
You're a professor there, aren't you?
Wait,
you're a professor at the School of Lego.
At the School of Vintage Lego? Not really. I'm a student at the School of Vintage Lego. Oh, we have Chris McBlicker from the Twitch side coming in on YouTube. Hello. Yeah, so just
buddy.
If anyone's forgotten, we're on bag 6 of the UCS X-Wing.
Getting some more bricks. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so when I'm done doing a reading assignment, I'm going to do a creative assignment. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be listening to a bunch of podcasts. And so I'm going to enjoy the A4 podcast this week. And they've helped me get through about 5 different assignments this semester. And a bunch of other podcasts have also helped me get through assignments this semester. But I've done more reading assignments than ever this year. About half of the time I've spent doing homework has been from reading books, which is way more than what I'm used to. So it's been a weird dynamic for me. But discovering that you can print off an online journal, discovering you can download an online journal as a PDF and load it into Microsoft Edge, and being able to listen to it as an audiobook with the read aloud tool has been a godsend, because I was not going to manually use my eyes and read words off of a screen. I was not going to do that. Otherwise, I would be even more insane than what I already am. So now that I'm wrapping up with a lot of my reading assignments, I can get back to listening to podcasts for creative assignments. And I'll be doing that starting again on Sunday. Because after this stream, I'm going to be moving some stuff in my garage to get the tables where I want them to be. And then tomorrow, before I do homework, I'm going to move stuff from back out from the backyard into my garage, because I've been moving stuff out of the garage so that I can move furniture in the garage. And it's been a giant effort of rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. Are you still there?
I'm back.
Yeah, so a lot of rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. And because of all of that, there's going to be no city update this month because there's no city to be shown. Instead, it's going to be a room. You know what? I'll probably do a room tour of my new garage. That's what I'll probably do.
That'll be cool.
Because I haven't done a room tour in a while. Because I've had no real room that's worthy of being showed off.
Well, now you do.
Yes, and I can make things permanent instead of semi-permanent, and I don't have to worry about damaging walls, and I don't have to worry about paint chipping and all this other ridiculousness that you have to go through when you rent, not own your house.
Exactly. When you said now I can make things permanent, you reminded me of Lord Business. And
Yeah.
He's like, now we can make things permanent.
Yeah.
Like there should be.
Yeah, with the Craggle. Okay, I messed up. That's supposed to be a 2x3, not a 2x2. And I don't have my brick separator here. Where did my brick separator go?
It should have came with one.
Yeah, but I use my brick separators with my mocks.
Oh, got you.
Let me go and get the brick separator.
Do it to it.
Do you wanna start talking about Aquazone month?
Yeah, sure. So as some of you guys know, June is actually what they call a lot of people call Aquazone or Aqua June. There's hashtag Aqua June. It comes up on Instagram or whatnot, but apparently in the Lego community, at least the vintage Lego community, June is Aquazone month. So there is hey Rob Claxton, how are you, buddy? There is a Aquazone set which was called the Neptune Discovery Lab, and I have decided to make my own mock version of that with a lot of inspiration from the Neptune Discovery Lab, and that's exactly what we're working on right here. And I'll give you a better tour of this. It's got a gate down here that goes into like an underwater cave there, and this side is the same way. It has the other cave that goes back in there. These can easily come out, and then you can see back in there. But if you look up here, this is where they have another ship in there, and it's pulled through the cave, and they've got the crane here that's picking up the crystals out of the ship, and it's taking them to this section over here, and it'll all kind of be modular, so that way the glass comes out. And when the glass comes out, you can see the different areas that I have going on here. But they're pretty much organizing all the crystals and doing whatever it is that they use them for, energy source, whatnot. But this is what I've come up with so far. It has a lot more to go. Hopefully I'm done with it by June. But this will go something like this here. And then you guys kind of get the idea. I'll have another side like this over on here. And then this will kind of be the discovery lab. And these will pop off. So that way you can see inside and see whoops, I'm probably not doing too well on there. But anyways, these will pop off. I'll have another one like this on this side here. And then all these glasses will be able to pop off. So that way you can see inside and see everything that's going on inside. And then it'll have a bunch of different scenes on the outside where they'll be, you know, scavenging for the crystals all along the edges and all along the rock work. But work in progress, work in progress.
Now, don't you think I didn't catch what you just said there?
You said you did or didn't?
Yeah. Don't you think I didn't catch what you just said in the midst of all of that?
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
I need to. I probably need to record me saying the phrase that pays, but when you said whatnot, did you mean the company or the phrase?
It's always going to be the phrase.
Yeah.
At least for me. You may talk to other people and they'll be talking about the company, but
because I've been slowly trying to condition people to stop saying that phrase.
Because they turned it into a business?
Yeah, just by asking them that simple question. Because I enjoy poking the bear, so to speak. Yeah. So
that's too funny.
Yeah. So we got Rob Claxton and Stud Sidious up in here. And also
Cheers,
we
Stud.
should have done this. We should have done this for when Team B came up in here.
Are you afraid of bees? They're only insects after all. I wouldn't care if hundreds were swarming around. I'd just blow smoke and make them buzz off. Buzz, 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 retorted Duck.
What's the buzz?
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Yeah. And since I've memed it so many times, I don't feel obliged to say it anymore because now other people say it instead. And that's what you call the evolution of meme.
I think if you say Sultan Fuss 3 times fast, he pops up in the chat.
And then if you say it 4 times in chat, not only will he show up, but we played the Pal Lisa jingle.
So we got the bees here. You're just waiting on the birds, huh?
No, we got in the birds and the bees. In the birds and the bees dynamic. Team B.
Yeah, I thought Team B was the bee.
No, Team B are the birds because they are a couple. Hive is the bee because he's always ranting, and he's using his stinger to rant about stuff because we have the right to complain.
Team B's hilarious. And Dave Bricks is trying to get what he wants to show up in the chat just by repeating it over and over again.
Or alternately, someone can go and DM Zissou that I'm live and we want to see him. But I know that there's a lot of people at Brick Universe Nashville right now.
Oh, there definitely is.
And Clicking Cliff did an Instagram live before I started editing a video today, and he was showing off the train layout that the Tennessee Valley Lego Club was putting together, and Hoosier's giant sand green roundhouse, and all of Hoosier's realistic trains like the Burlington Northern Santa Fe GP38 and the Santa Fe F7s and F3s and F4s, and they managed to build a Dr. Pepper box car and a Mountain Dew box car as well.
Yeah, I saw the Dr. Pepper one.
Because for those who don't know, Hoosier buys instructions for a lot of the trains he builds, which is why he's built so many of them.
Got you. Yeah, no. Oh, and Hoosier also is a big train fan. He's
arguably
the train layout.
Yeah, he's arguably a bigger train fan than me.
Yeah, because he has quite the setup. Not saying he's a bigger fan because he has a bigger setup, because that doesn't mean you're a bigger fan, but I will say that he does have quite the setup.
Well, you are, in my opinion, you are a bigger fan of trains if the scale of the Lego trains that you build are bigger than the normal city trains. Like, I keep to the city scale, but people like Hoosier Bricks and Brick Trains build to a bigger scale. They build to more of the Disney train scale and the Orient Express scale. That's the scale that they build to. Some of their locomotives are. I believe some of their locomotives with the overhang are 12 studs wide.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Stud says
I was thinking they were 8 studs wide.
With the overhang, some of them get to 12. Stud says, yeah. I'm always in the grocery store during these streams. I can't stand shopping in the day when the stores are packed. Yeah, they're a lot more quieter at night.
You know what I miss? I miss the 24 hours. They don't do that at a lot of places anymore. After COVID, they quit doing 24 hours.
Because it wasn't economical for them.
Yeah, but Walmart was such a better place to shop when there weren't a million people there that are, no offense, but there's some interesting characters that participate in Walmart.
Well, I thought that Walmart had the most interesting clientele in the world because they're the only store where you can wake up out of bed with your pajamas on and you're ready to go to Walmart.
Yeah, that's true.
And when I went to the Walmart near one of the train yards in Chicago, when I filmed all those videos about Chicago and Illinois trains, there were some colorful characters in the Walmart that I went to.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
And so now I'm gonna compare that Walmart to the Walmart near the Woodfield Mall at Schaumburg to see what its clientele is like, because the Western because the western suburbs of Chicago are a lot different from the towns west of Chicago, because people get the misconception that Brick World Chicago is in Chicago. It's actually not. Schaumburg is a town west of Chicago.
Gotcha.
Because
and it's actually like a lot better area, right?
Well, it's a lot better area than the outer suburbs of Chicago because of American geography.
Yeah. Well, it's no secret, man, that there's certain parts of Chicago that are cities that you just don't want to be in, because it doesn't matter who lives there. It's the crime that goes on in those cities. It's just insane, man.
Yeah, and I've told the story before when I was after I had gone to the United Center to take a photo outside the Bulls logo and the Blackhawks logo. I went to Wendy's about a mile away to try the strawberry frosting, and there was someone who came into the store on crutches, got their food, left the building, and then started running away. They got off their crutches and started sprinting.
Yeah, I
like they were trying
I don't
to gain sympathy, like they were trying to gain sympathy points or something.
Yeah, they probably got it for free. And then as soon as they got outside, they took off because they were like, I got it for free, huh? Made them feel bad.
The wall Martians. Yeah.
The wall Martian, that's hilarious.
I wonder if there's secretly aliens that do shop at Walmart.
They blend right in.
And I wonder if they're the same aliens that controlled the space laser that apparently destroyed the Baltimore Bridge, according to conspiracy theorists.
So when they say that, what they're saying is that it's not like space laser like you think about, but pretty much what it was is that it hijacked the controls electronically through satellite is pretty much what it did.
Yeah. There was a lot of conspiracy theories that happened about then, and Bill Maher did a bit about it because he joked about it was a cyber attack, then it was the vaccine, then it was a space laser, then it was one of the countries at war, then it was a terrorist attack, then it was a former president, and then so on and so forth.
Well, the real deal about it is if you ever heard what the person, so I don't know what happened. I can't tell you what happened. That's why it's all conspiracy theories. But the guy who was driving the boat at the time said that he lost all controls, and no matter what he was doing, nothing was changing.
Yeah.
He couldn't, the only thing that he could do was drop the anchor. He dropped the anchor, and that was all that he could possibly do, and that's what he tried to do. But he said that there's like 3 redundant systems in effect, so if any of this ever happened, they wouldn't ever lose total control. But he said that's exactly what happened. He lost complete control, and no matter what he did, it didn't control anything.
Yeah, because after all of the conspiracy theories got out of the media and the authorities did their investigation, they found out that the engine shut down, and so power was cut off to the rest of the ship, and they lost navigation with the shipping channel that went under that bridge. Is what they found, and I think I think they said it was actually the wrong decision to pull the anchor.
Yeah, because what it probably, when it sank and it hit it, it pulled it to the side that the anchor went on. The whole ship.
And that bridge story really really interested me because I have friends who live in Baltimore.
Well, what's really crazy
and friends who live in towns outside of the Baltimore a greater area.
Well, what's really crazy about it is now that it happened once in the Baltimore area with that whole shebang and that whole fiasco, now it's starting to happen more and more often. We're seeing more and more ships run into stuff.
Yeah, because of the incompetence of the captains.
I mean, I won't disagree with you there because something's got to be going on.
Yeah.
Either you've got to be...
Yeah, whether they're not being trained properly or they're not skilled enough to be the captain of certain vessels.
That could be a possibility. They're getting hired for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and dare we not say a three-letter acronym.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just keep that between the both of us. But those who are smart enough can realize what that three-letter acronym is. Otherwise, I'll get roasted, much like how Harrison Butker got roasted.
Yeah, if you decide to think outside the herd if you think outside of the herd for 5 minutes, you're going to get roasted.
Yeah, like how Tom Brady got roasted. Anyway, so let's go.
That was actually pretty funny. Did you watch it?
Some of it was funny. So let's get back to what. So
and you know what?
So now I'm going to go back to the monologue I was getting on, because I like to wait up for after the hour to get to these big conversations about whatever we talk about. So my story with the CMFs is that I remember everyone doing their stuff about the boxes versus bags, and a lot of people got really emotional. There were some people who were in support of the boxes, and there were some people who were clinging on to the bags. And I think the bag crowd was more vocal because they enjoy feeling the bags, and they can't anymore. Which is why they're super stoked that the boxes have the product codes. They're not actually QR codes. Someone mentioned to me they're actually product codes, so that they can be handled more efficiently in the factory and the distribution center. Because if anyone knows anything about the business, world, you know that it costs money to keep inventory in storage, and the longer you keep it in storage, the more you have to spend money to keep it in storage, and the quicker you can streamline the process of getting products off of the assembly line and out for distribution, the better. It's the same reason why Lego goes through their molds and destroys molds that hasn't been used a lot, like the goat all those years ago, because it costs money to store stuff in their factories and their warehouses. And so that's why there are apps that have been created where people can scan those codes and know exactly what they're going to get. Because I originally thought they were QR codes, but they're actually product codes. And I originally thought it was an olive branch in an attempt to bring back the bump codes due to the whole drama of the CMFs getting stolen out of the boxes, and or the stuff online people were posting about, oh yeah, these boxes have been ripped open. Not by children, but by collectors who want to scalp them. And so that was what I originally thought, but then the smart, business-minded people pointed out that it's actually so that they can better handle them in-house. And that made a lot more sense to me when they said it. But I do want to talk about that a little bit briefly. So when the CMFs first came out in 2010, they had bump codes on the boxes, and people were able to deduce which bump codes were for which of the CMFs. And then LEGO realized that was happening, so they got rid of the bump codes. And I'm guessing the bump codes was also an attempt to handle the figures in-house. But then they caught whiff that people were using them to identify which figures they didn't have, because people were posting the codes in the forums back in the day when forums were still a thing. Now people just have social media group chats to share all that information. There's not as many forums as there used to be, like there was back in 2010. And so for a while there was nothing. I think they stopped using the bump codes in Series 4, I want to say. But anyone who's been collecting CMFs since day one can correct me if I'm wrong about that in the comments. And so, for the longest of time, the only way we could deduce what was inside was to fill the bags.
You know, and I've never been a fan of that. I honestly feel like they should let you buy the figs that you want. I feel like the blind bag or the blind box deal is a way for them to pawn off minifigures that nobody would ever really buy. That people just buy them by mistake.
Yeah, and you had to be really skilled, and people eventually put out information about what pieces to feel for, and that's how people went to stores and then filmed a whole video in their car when they got out, and they specifically said, okay, this is this figure because I felt for this piece, and they were able to come away with all unique figs. I remember the Brick Adjuster would do that all the time, and he had big success rates. And I tried feeling bags a couple times, and I wasn't good at feeling the bags, and I lost patience for it.
I don't blame you. I did
the
same thing, and then
they came along with the boxes of 6-packs with guaranteed 6 unique CMFs. And for a while, the way LEGO did it was there were 2 different boxes. One had the first 6 and the other had the second 6. And so LEGO realized people were just buying 2 boxes in the same purchase, banking on the sellers like Amazon and Walmart and Target to ship them to a different boxes, and they only needed to buy 2 boxes to get the full collection. This was when they reduced the minifigures from 16 to 12 per series, is when they came out with the boxes of the 6-packs.
Got you.
And I remember when they reduced the figures from 16 to 12. And there were two different opinions. One crowd was disappointed that there was less to collect, while the other crowd acknowledged that since LEGO is running out of ideas, a lot of the figures they were doing in the 16 series became redundant, and so capping it at 12 meant they could spread their creativity more per figure.
Yeah.
And that's why I was in. I had no. I didn't have a problem when they reduced it from 16 to 12.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll be honest with you, if they would even reduce it to 6, I wouldn't have a problem with it. As long as it was 6 solid minifigs that were 6 solid choices, 6 good designs, like more than likely half of them most people don't want.
Yeah, because there's normally a couple figures that are the hot buys, and the rest of them are either meh or no, I don't care about this. Because
and that's what kills you, because you end up buying. I think I'm lagging again.
Yeah. Well, because there's only so many different concepts of figures you can do. There's only so many different concepts of figures that you can do.
Yeah, exactly. And you know where I think they'd really capitalize is if they would bring like themed figures back. For example, if they brought Islanders or the Confederate soldiers or what they call the cavalry soldiers, or some Western figs. I know they did the one West like that, maybe some Aqua Zone figs back. That would probably do pretty well.
They've actually done quite a few Western figures throughout the CMFs, and there's certain tropes that they do all the time, every few series. And I remember in series 1 they had a Western guy that looked like Billy the Kid, and they did one that looked like a Genghis Khan, and they did Abraham Lincoln with the Lego Movie series, and they did a Medusa, I think, in series 8. They've done a lot of historical figures. Oh, they also did the Shakespeare with the Lego Movie series.
Yep.
They've done
in Brick is Life.
They've done a lot of castle figures, which has made the castle fans really happy, and me really happy.
Yeah, and Brick is Life mentioned they can't offend anybody, and that's exactly right. In the 90s, they didn't have to worry so much about offending so many people. Nowadays, it doesn't matter what you do, you offend somebody. So you're exactly right. They do have to worry about that as well.
Because there's a lot more snowflakes today than there were back in the 90s.
Indeed. It's hard coming from that era, seeing what it is now. It's like, what are you talking about?
Oh, that's a new person. Hello, Frenchy Ball says, on your city, do you have any French buildings or something French? I've never really built any French architecture, but I have thought about, well, wouldn't it be cool
to make a scale version of the Eiffel Tower in a town square, kind of like how they have the fake Eiffel Tower in Las Vegas. And I've always thought if I would ever put a river into my city, I want to build a bridge with a lot of the Vespa scooters on, because if you ever see some of the movies that are set in Paris, they always have the scene where people are riding their scooters over the bridges, with the boats going underneath, with all the happy couples enjoying their dinner. I've always wanted to create that scene. But sadly,
that'd be very cool.
Have never had a river in my I've never had a river in my city. And that's something else. Lego recently came out with a Notre Dame set in its rebuilt condition after the fire a few years ago. Because I did see that. Very cool. It's really confusing. Lego has had an anti-religion policy for a long time in their sets because they want to stay out of religion. Yet they've came out with a Notre Dame set, which is really good for the people who like international architecture, but it's a bizarre decision. And then that creates the whole rabbit hole about the people who think that the Jabba's palace looks like an Arabic mosque. And they try to make all those silly arguments.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it's more probably of the architecture, though. It definitely falls under the architecture theme. Because regardless of whatever occupies the building, the architecture itself is still pretty impressive.
Yeah, and actually, I was surprised to realize that they've only made a little more than 60 architecture sets. And if you go onto Brickset and look at the architecture theme, there's been a lot of French buildings that have been made in the architecture theme. And now they've made 2 1 in 500 scale Eiffel Towers or something. And the most recent Eiffel Tower they did, it had the gift with purchase for Eiffel's apartment. I remember. I remember there were some people who bought 2 of the Eiffel Towers, one for the set and another to part out, and then they parted out one of the Eiffel's apartments GWPs, because that Eiffel figure, I forget what the value is, but it's definitely more than your average figure.
Oh, okay.
Because that Eiffel figure was exclusive to that set.
To that GWP, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this, regardless of what country you're from, I will say that architecture from like the 1600s, the 1700s, even like the 1800s, man, they really made some amazing stuff compared to the buildings we build nowadays. It just doesn't have the character and all the amazing details that they did back then. Our builds nowadays are disappointing compared to old architecture.
We're going to have to talk about the architecture theme sometime this year. But anyway, let's get back to the CMFs. So what I was saying...
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. we're going to move on from this conversation because that was just a tangent. So let's get back to the CMFs. So I remember people were really not happy when they switched over to the boxes, and there were people who were openly making rants about how the prices were going to go up and how it's cheaper for them to use a cardboard compared to the blind bags, and all sorts of arguments. And I was saying at the time, I was looking for an excuse to stop collecting the CMFs, because after I completed the collection of Series 20 and 21 when I bought them off of eBay, I began to lose interest in the CMFs. And so from Series 22 to Series 25, I was looking for an excuse to boycott the CMFs. And then when they replaced the bags with the boxes, I used that as a scapegoat to stop collecting them, and said that I was only going to buy individual figures from then on and not worry about trying to complete the collection. Which is why I want to go on to and get the Goat Farmer and those 3 Space Guys.
So I'm going to address the chat right quick. I think I'm kind of lagging again. I don't know why. But Team B, I was actually talking about architecture in real life, like real buildings that you see on a daily basis, not Lego sets. And then also, Mayo, I was going to tell you, Frenchie was talking about in your city, he said you have a flag that looks like the French flag.
In my Lego city, I have a lot of red, white, and blue in my Lego city, but I don't have any flags that are colored red, white, and blue.
They're the best ways.
So, to get a better understanding of the context, I need further information. Okay, so I think this is one of the wings that we're building right now. This looks like one of the X-foils. I'm guessing the next 4 bags, including this one, are going to be for the X-foils. And that means this is going to be very repetitious.
Yeah, that's how some of those builds go, especially when they have Technic insides. Is that what that has?
Yeah, this has a lot of Technic to add strength to the build.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's my story about the CMFs. The reasons why. Well, those are that's some of the information I wanted to communicate. But overall, the reason why I got into CMFs in the first place was because I saw the enjoyment of LEGO YouTubers collecting them, and then I got CMF fatigue about just after Series 21 came out.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't really worry about collecting the CMFs unless they've got 1 or 2 of them in there that I want. Then I'll try and get them. Like, for example, the goat hoarder or herder. I got quite a few of those because I'm actually Gonna use those in the castle set. The Bat Lord, I got quite a few of those because I'm gonna use those in the castle area. And then I've got a few other ones that I've just bought along the way, but they were pretty cool. Like they did have the kind of Islander guy. It was like the tiki guy. I don't know if you remember that one. He comes with like a tiki mask and a spear.
Was that back in
him.
series? Was that back in series 11?
I believe so.
Because that was the same series as the Gingerbread Man, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think you're closer to right than I ever would be. But yeah, those are some of the older. He definitely came from the older series that I wasn't. I was still in my dark ages when those pigs came out.
And I wasn't collecting CMFs when the Tiki Islander came out. I missed out on a lot of good stuff like the Carpenter and the hot dog guy and the whole hoopla about Mr. Gold in series 10. I missed out on a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, some of those figs now go for like $100 a pop.
Yes. It's because people are nostalgic and they want to collect them. Hence the name collectible minifigures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's correct. Yeah, so I have kind of a rocky relationship with the CMFs. But I definitely know I got back into CMFs because of people unboxing the Series 15. And Series 15 was the first series I looked at and thought to myself, this might be the most diverse series that they've done yet. That was my thoughts when Series 15
What
came
series
out.
was that? Sorry.
Huh?
Oh, Series 15.
Yeah, Series 15.
I didn't hear what series I didn't hear what series you were talking about.
Yeah, that was just a really good CMF series.
I think I got back into Lego when the Disney minifigs series, that the CMF series that were out. It's the ones where had the black and white Mickey Mouse and everything.
That was the series 2 with the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse. And now
that wasn't just the recent one.
No, that came out. I'm pretty sure that came out in 2019, Series 2 of the Disney.
Okay, so then I'm way mistaken.
Yeah, and now the Steamboat really is in the public domain because Disney's 100-year trademark ran out at the start of this year. And I can't find a title.
Yeah, what series was out in the end of 2021? What did they come out with in 2021?
I couldn't tell you because I don't keep track of the years.
Okay, I figured you would know. You usually do.
Not when it comes to CMFs.
Yeah.
That's one of the areas.
So what's your favorite CMF series?
Probably Series 14.
Oh, 14.
Because I remember people doing unboxings of Series 14. when I didn't care about the CMFs. And I looked at them and thought, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I found a cheap deal for them when I was going back and buying old series on eBay. It was at the same time when I bought the Ninjago series and Series 19, which was just as Series 20 was coming out.
Gotcha.
And I built all of the Series 14 on the same day when I got home from high school. Yeah, that was back when I was in high school. That stuff was only recently retired. And I was like, oh my god, these figures are so creative.
Yeah, sometimes it happens like that.
Let's see what some...
When it comes out, you're not too wild. Yeah, I was going to say, when it comes out, you're not too crazy about it, but then after it's been out for a while, it kind of grows on you.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I've missed out on. Yeah. So, Chris says, you want to stay in groups of 3 or more. If you adventure to Chicago, I recommend staying on the grounds of Brick World. And Brickers Life said they are definitely different and they are breeding. Stud says, they had the Friends Botanical set on sale. I stacked up for mock parts. Dave says, that on sale here too, Stud. Only $90. That must be a 20% of sale. Dave still hasn't picked it up, but he wants 2 for a modular. Also says management wouldn't allow them to go that approach. Stud says wall Martians are real for real. I try not to go there. I actually put on shoes and clothes. Wall Martians live in Crocs and pajamas. Yeah, I know, right? Dave says, still can't understand $1 billion company and they're having problems with keeping the molds. Or that's the reason why they are a $1 billion company, because they are economical with their molds. Stud says, sailors unfortunately like to get drunk. They sleep with too many mermaids. And we covered some of that. Also says, I refuse to watch anything with Tom Brady in it because the game that leapt him into stardom was a fumble. Yes, I know exactly why you wouldn't like Tom Brady, because of the tuck rule game. And there's a reason why the NFL eventually got rid of the tuck rule. Team B says there was just as many snowflakes in the 90s. They didn't have the internet to share. That's a fair point. Stud says the NFL had to change the rules after that game. Gruden got screwed. It was a clear fumble. I disagree. I think it was an incomplete pass. The Raiders were the better team. They were the better team because their defense was better and they controlled the line of scrimmage in that game. Chris says, I do think the newer Spigs are out of the park awesome. I want more space penguins and maybe a future polar bear. Yes, I was so glad that when they made the Ice Planet girl, they included a penguin. Because back when the Ice Planet figs originally came out in 1993, the penguin mold didn't exist yet. Stud says, I think the new Lego 18-wheeler truck build is for translucent Star Wars figs from the Mexico factory. That's funny. Also says, I'm on a delay because of the store, but you're correct about the original CMF codes. They stopped it so they could run promos like Mr. Gold. Yeah, all of the chase figures they were doing. And Team B's talking to you. So today's builds are more like playsets rather than the UCS builds of old. And Chris says, I think the best way for CMF is 6-pack clear box, but randomize the figs. Yes, because they changed up the distribution of the 6-packs. Now, instead of having 2 different boxes, one set has the first 6, the other set has the second 6. Now all they do is guarantee that you'll get 6 individuals and randomize the 6 individuals they put in those boxes because they realized that people were quote unquote cheating the system.
No way. People were cheating the system?
Yeah, because it's not like anyone tries to cheat the system to save money. And Nessa says, my first ever CMF
Yeah, exactly.
was the Native American with the baby on her back. I remember buying that separately because I thought that was a cool figure.
That's actually on my to get list. I need that one.
Because I'm pretty sure that was one of the ones from series 15, and in a bulk lot, I got that figure again, and that was the first time we got a baby figure, and then the next year we got the molded baby that had an anti-stud on the bottom and could stand up. Looks like Chris's favourite series was 21. Oh no, sorry. No, because RC was asking which series came out in 2021. And Johnny says,
"Yep, and that makes
RC,
sense.
You could park your submarines in that thing," and referring to the Ice Planet Girl, her penguins is a hot boy. They are very cool molds. Those penguins.
So Johnny, these are the subs that I built. This is actually based. What's that, Mayo?
Yeah, there was a lot of lag when you were rotating that submarine. But I love those old translucent orange containers with the magnet on top.
Yeah. Yeah. This one is actually based off of the one that comes with the Neptune Discovery lab. And so I just modified it, but this is I've got a couple of these, and this is one of them, but Johnny G was saying put the submarines in there, and these are exactly where they go.
So you're going to use the rock formation as a quasi garage for the submarines.
Exactly, like they're backed into caves.
Yeah, the Neptune Discovery Lab might be my favorite set of 1995. Because there wasn't any cool trains.
It is very cool.
The one cool train set I can think of that came out that year was one of the cranes. It was a gantry crane, and it was on the old pit lane base plate. And that's honestly my favorite train crane that they've ever done. But they produced a couple pieces of rolling stock, but there wasn't a designated train set. Because we got designated train sets the previous year with the freight rail runner, and the next year with the cargo railway and the freight and crane railway.
Got you.
I also have the spring green blinger right here.
Absolutely, Johnny. 90s was the best. Like 90s, I feel like 90s had some of the best themes. They've got good themes now, but I really liked a lot of the 90s themes.
I think in terms of overall themes, my favorite themes were in the 90s because especially the early 90s, because they took themes from the 80s, expanded upon it, and made the builds look better because they had slightly more advanced pieces. That's why I say that my favorite years for LEGO ever was 87 to 94.
And you know, nowadays, I get it that if you have specialty pieces, you can create a different look for the set or whatever. But when you were younger, you could use a lot of the pieces from different sets, but nowadays a lot of these sets come with specialty parts.
That's because LEGO tries to make a lot more scale models with their toys.
Yeah.
Because LEGO is still a toy, but LEGO has gone more the approach of a scale model rather than a child's plaything in recent decades. Because coincidentally, 1995 was when Toy Story 1 came out, and you are a toy, you're a child's plaything.
Yeah, that's funny. That came out in 1995 also?
Yeah, Toy Story 1, and then Toy Story 2 was 1998.
I remember when that came out. I just didn't remember it was that when it came out, but I remember being a kid when that movie came out. Get all the toys at Burger King and McDonald's, and
yeah,
I remember it all.
Yeah, because like I remember when the Ice Age toys came out for Happy Meals, and I remember when Night at the Museum 2 toys came out with Happy Meals. And I'm not as nostalgic for some of the Hungry Jack's Burger King toys, but there was a series of those toys for one of the movies I collected. But by far my most nostalgic Hungry Jack's Burger King or Happy Meal toys were the Tony Hawk Boom Boom Hop Jam skateboard stuff that came out X Games stuff that came out in 2004. That was when the X Games were getting really popular, and so popular that Tony Hawk established his own brand in the early 2000s. There's a video by a toy reviewer called Lucky Penny Shop. He showcased every one of those Happy Meal toys, and it's one of my most nostalgic YouTube videos of all time, just because those were the first Happy Meal toys I grew up with, and the play features are I'll never forget the intricacies of those play features.
Do they even give out toys and Happy Meals anymore?
Yes, they do. But when there's no popular movie, out there for kids, they're kind of lackluster. Because if you go back and look at the Happy Meal toys from history, or the Burger King Hungry Jack's toys, really the best ones are when there's a popular movie out there.
Yeah. Well, I remember even when there wasn't a popular movie, there was always like a popular toy. Like, honestly, they used to do Beanie Babies, Hot Wheels, and Barbie whenever I was a kid also.
Actually, you know what? I think it was Hungry Jack's Burger King that made toys for one of the Trolls TV shows that was in the 2000s. My sister and I we got a bunch of the Hungry Jack's Burger King Trolls toys, and they had cones with them, and we'd always play with them in the bath because we get
very nice. Hey, Miss Amby's in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, we'd get their hair wet in the bath and then dry them out. And long time no see, Miss Amby. We don't normally get Scottish people up in my chats, but I have seen that Miss Amby has been awake at this time of day because it's just after 4 a.m. for her right now. No, sorry, it's just coming up on 4 a.m. in Scotland.
Fun fact. I don't know if I've told you this or not before on here, but Miss Amby is actually one of the only people that have my sig fig. The only person.
Yeah, when I get to Chicago, I'm going to go to the post office and not only mail out some of the giveaway prizes to some people, but I'm also going to mail you one of my sig figs.
Okay.
Because when I go to American conventions, I like to mail people my sig figs if they don't go. Because last year I mailed my sig fig to Alex Nunes so that I could be featured in one of the Minifig Mayhem videos that he does with his wife, and I requested to sit on the bench of the airport shuttle station near his airport. And so so that's where my sig fig is in his city. I believe it was Minifigure Mayhem episode 15, 16, or 17. That was when he received my sig fig in the mail.
And Bricka's Life said, it says share and she won't be the only one. Oh, that's funny. I need to go on eBay and order some more parts so that way you guys can I can give out more of them. I give him a little weed whacker. He's a landscaper because that's what I do by trade as a profession. So I have a little landscaping fig as my sig fig.
Yeah, and I'll be honest,
I do need to get more of those so that way I can.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, when the reason why I went for a vintage aesthetic with my sig fig instead of creating a figure that looked like my human body is because I wanted to go with some of the cheapest pieces possible available for me to buy, so that I could buy hundreds of pieces to build my sig fig at once. So I deliberately went with plain colored pants, the smiley head, and a red baseball cap compared to a complicated hairpiece or a leg piece that had printing on it, or some obscure face print that's only been made in a couple sets. Granted, the smiley face head isn't made anymore, but you can still find it for less than $1 in most places. But I wanted something special, and now the coward who shall not be named was actually the one who gave me the idea to use the airport worker torso. And if anyone remembers when I was doing my rant about the coward, I don't like to talk about the coward publicly because I want to be the bigger man. But all I'll say to him is fuck you wherever you are out there. I don't want to have to do anything with him ever again, and I'm not even sure if he's going to be at Chicago, but he was there last year.
Well, whatever, man. Like you said, just be the bigger person. Forget it, man. You're young, man. You're a young dude, so you'll figure it out, but you're going to run into those people your whole life, man. Your whole life, you're going to run into those people. So don't even stress it.
Yeah, because I told the story that he blocked me on Twitch he removed me from his Discord server and he unfollowed me on Instagram, all within 1 week. So I was like, fuck him. I want nothing to do with him anymore. And also the reason why I can say that is because he totally abandoned the YouTube community and moved over to Twitch, where he found new people to hang out with. So we don't even need to worry about him because he went to the other side. Much like other people that went to the other side that we don't need to talk about anymore either. And frankly, a lot of people went to the other side because they got upset and their feelings hurt about some people on the YouTube side, so they went over to the Twitch side and they integrated themselves over there.
They went to the dark side.
Well, it's not the dark side, it's just the other side, because if anyone is doing other stuff while they're watching my streams, if you're using other phones on your apps, instead of using two different devices, what you can actually do is you can come over and watch my stream over on Twitch so that you can have the Twitch app running in the background, listening to my stream while you use other apps on your phone. So if anyone wants to do that, they can do that. And also, occasionally, I play Minecraft over on Twitch as well, because we simulcast these streams. Some people on the YouTube side call it the dark side, others call it the other side.
The other side. I got you. Here, hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I got to respond to text right fast. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, so that was everything I really wanted to say about the CMFs. So when I'm done building this, we're actually going to go look at the Series 25 and the Series 26 figures. Go to the Brickset listing or wherever I can find them. And I'm going to give you my thoughts about all 24 of them. Some of them I'll have more in-depth thoughts than others. Like I want to talk extensively about the vintage space throwbacks, the goat herder, the Batlord wannabe, and some of the others that are decent looking, but I'm not crazy about. And just because I'm not crazy about a certain CMF doesn't mean that I don't like it. Because I know that a lot of figures that I'm not crazy about, other people are crazy about. And they have an entirely different opinion than me. And when we go over them, I wonder if we'll get some different opinions. Because everyone's got their fan favourites per CMF series. Because there's figs that I don't like, that I know other people like, and there's figs that other people like. No, sorry, there's figs that other people like that I really like. There's something missing there. Yeah, it's another plate. And I remember when the CMFs back in 2010 were only $2 US. And now they can sell for as much as $5 US. But not all department stores sell them for $5 US. because I remember when people were complaining about the price rise to $3, and then people were complaining about the price rise to $4, and when they went to $4, there was a clear advancement in the detail of the CMFs compared to the $2 and the $3 figures. But when they went to $5, that was when people were questioning the value of it. Is it worth it? Because the $5 figs had pretty much the same detail as the $4 figs. So why the need for the price increase? A lot of people were arguing about. And I guess there was a slight decline in sales with the $5 figures, because in future series they knocked the price back down to $4 and they are selling just as many figures as they did before they raised the prices. So it's a weird dynamic in the economics of the CMFs. A rare time where LEGO actually reduces the price for something, or sellers that have contracts with LEGO actively reduce the price. Because for those who don't know, the contracts that LEGO has with retailers is kind of like the way that the model train companies have, is they set an RRP, but LEGO intentionally prices sets above what the departments sell for, and they set an intentionally higher RRP from the LEGO website and LEGO stores as an incentive to get customers to buy from the department stores. Because if LEGO can prove the data that more people buy LEGO from department stores than the LEGO store, that's a bigger incentive for their retail partners to keep renewing their retail contracts. So Walmart and Target in the US, Toys R Us in Canada, Big W and Kmart in Australia, Smith's Toys in Britain and Ireland, and some of the other international department stores around the world keep on renewing their contracts because customers are incentivized to buy from the department store compared to the LEGO store.
That's why you'll always see those ridiculous sales at Walmart where you'll see a set that's $80 at LEGO is, on sale for $34.99 at Walmart.
Yeah, it's a pricing strategy that works. It's like how in the UK, Hornby trains, it's more expensive to buy from their website compared to the British model train stores, and with a Bachmann in the US, it's more expensive to buy from the Bachmann website than the American train stores. Like Briggs always buys from Train World, who operates out of Long Island in New York, because their prices are about 40% cheaper than the Bachmann website, and Briggs buys a lot of Bachmann trains. So much so that he's actually been sponsored by Train World in the past. So it's a similar pricing structure, and I always complained about LEGO's inflated prices compared to their retail partners. And when Jane Bricks did a review of a LEGO set, I was complaining about that. And then he actually responded to me and let me know the pricing structure. And when he explained it to me, suddenly it all made sense. Yeah, it was nice seeing your
And
name.
then you weren't so
on
mad about
YouTube.
it.
Yeah, it was nice seeing your name on the YouTube side, Chris. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Thanks for coming out. You should definitely come back again. See you soon.
Good to see you, Chris. Thanks for coming and joining.
Yeah, I don't like Lego. I don't like Lego exclusives either. I wish that Lego wouldn't have direct-to-consumer sets. But the reason they have direct-to-consumer sets is because often those sets are too expensive for retailers to want to sell them. So as a general rule of thumb, whenever there's a good gift with purchase available, I only buy direct-to-consumer sets.
Speaking of GWPs, what's the current GWP?
It's the Space Diner, and I think it's fucking awful. There's no walls. There's no walls. And I did an Instagram story complaining that there's no walls, and I just couldn't believe that there was no walls. I found it rather frustrating, and I'm gonna have to do a rant about that next week because I was so frustrated about it.
I was gonna say, are you frustrated about it, Mayo?
Yes, I was frustrated, so I made an Instagram story complaining about it a week ago.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have been lacking on Instagram. I've been so busy with work. Summertime down here, it's just chaos. Everything's growing at 100 miles an hour. It's so much to do. Everybody wants something done. There's a lot of work right now. Just keep it up.
Yeah, life's very busy, and homework has taken away a lot of my time to do anything creative. But that's because I procrastinate with home. That's because what I do is I procrastinate with homework and then spend my whole time doing homework for a good 2-week chunk at the end of semester when all of my end of semester assignments are due, because I work well in the clutch. Because I know time is against me, so I force myself to devote to homework. And it works because because 99% of the time I end up passing all of my subjects.
So you're saying you work better under pressure?
I do. I'm one of those people that can. I'm one of those people that can do something overnight if I really have to. And speaking of overnight, Miss Amy is going to try go get some sleep again. It was nice. It was nice to see you up in here, Miss Amby.
Indeed, Miss Amby.
Yeah, Miss Amby's been communicating with me, asking questions about filming her next city update. Because I know she's been busy with her city, and I wish I was as busy with my city.
Very
but
right.
The garage is in, bad shape.
Yep, that's the same here.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to listening to that when I do homework tomorrow, because I always enjoy the podcasts like the A4 podcast help me get through homework.
Brick is Life asked you something about, are you talking about Jay Steffer or Jay's Brick blog?
No. The only thing relevant to say is that I'm so glad that I got a selfie with Jay Ong at Brickvention, and I was really honoured the couple times that Jay Steffer has actually tuned into some of my live streams, because Jay Steffer by far has the best LEGO tutorials on YouTube.
Nice. I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yeah.
You guys always introduce me to somebody new.
Yeah, Jay Steffer's been making tutorials for over 10 years now.
Nice.
And they are, well, Jay Steffer is an elder statesman of the LEGO YouTube community.
Oh, okay. So he's been at it a while.
Yeah, he's been doing stuff for a long time. And that's why a lot of the OG LEGO YouTubers talk about him so much.
Well, then I will definitely have to tune in, and I'm going to have to check him out.
And especially if you want to make mocks for your city, he does a lot of really small stuff. A lot of
Yeah, that's perfect. That's it. I always love getting new ideas.
He's done a lot of different 4-wide builds in the past, which has made me happy as a vintage builder. Got a few ideas from his tutorials.
Very nice.
Yeah, and Jay Steffer is one of those people in LAN who doesn't like to shove LAN in other people's faces.
Yeah, Johnny G just said something about that. Said Jay's a nice guy, but not a fan of LAN.
Yeah. Well, both Jay Steffer and Alex Nunes are probably the most tolerable people in LAN that I can think of. Because they're not the type of people who their content is dependent upon LAN. Their YouTube channels would operate just fine if they weren't in LAN, but they are. So good for them.
That reminds me of like Daryl from Bevan's Bricks. His city and everything that he does LEGO keeps people tuning into him, and I'm pretty sure he's not a LAN member because he doesn't really ever do any set builds.
Yeah, he's almost a pure mock builder. And one day I want to be a pure mock builder when I have a good enough system to just make mocks every single day. I mean, substantial mocks every single day, not just small mocks you can whip up in 5 minutes. Which, if you're one of those types of people that likes to whip up mocks in 5 minutes, Jay Steffer does a lot of that stuff, and it looks really good.
Brick is Life says Jay Steffer was my first LEGO YouTuber that I got a courage up to start talking to in his live streams years ago. And him and the friends I made, like Ingrid, have given me the courage to do my own channel. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it's always good to respect people who give you inspiration and motivation to do stuff about Lego on social media.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you guys. I just used to tune into a lot of these people, and like Vanessa was saying there, she just started talking to people in the live stream. I kind of did the same thing, and then that's how I jumped on the live stream with these guys one day, and they saw my city, and they all encouraged me to do the Instagram and whatnot. But yeah, I was kind of in the same boat.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's right. Mayo doesn't like the whatnot phrase.
Space. That's the fun frontier. Yeah, because I'll tell the story. So, when Mark used to do regular Saturday night streams, he'd bring on people from the chat. I used to go on there all the time. Eric used to go on there all the time. You used to go on there all the time. Stud Sidious used to go on there all the time, and we'd had good conversations. But then Mark's life changed, and therefore he changed up the content that he does on his channel ever so slightly. And so wait, hang on a minute. How does this, there's a technical pin that goes on here. And so when RC came on with us on Mark's stream, after he showed off his city, everyone on the panel and in the chat were enamored. And so I encouraged him to create his own channel and make city updates for it. Because I said, if you make city updates about your city, you'll get hundreds, if not thousands of views, and that's exactly what happened.
Indeed. That is exactly what happened.
And you went forward with it, and that's why you've got over 2,000 views on your channel just from 2 videos, which means that you need to make a part 3.
Yep, that's coming soon. That's definitely coming soon. I gotta I'm gonna clean the room, and I'm gonna definitely do that because I've made some massive progress since the last update.
And eventually, when you get more skin into the game, doing monthly updates like what a lot of people do will be really beneficial to your channel.
Yeah,
because you already roped in a lot of the casual viewers. And now a lot of people know about your city, and they'll just keep on crawling back.
Yeah, I tell you what, I hope that's the case. And then what I also the hardest thing that I have working for against me on the city update is that it kind of takes some time to make any real progress on it because of how big it is. And then like the rock work and the mountain and all that. And then when I do make progress or whatnot, it takes a lot of time. And so right now during the summer, I'm just... Well, oh, did I say it again?
Yeah.
That's too funny. I say it out of just pure habit.
Exactly.
But anyways, yeah, it takes up a lot of time in the summer. I'm just eating up all my time with work and the business and stuff. So I have to just allocate what time I do have to it, and it's just small amount of time in the summertime.
the summertime, boys. We're nearly done with the first of the X-foil.
It's the opposite for you right now, isn't it? It's getting pretty cold on your side.
Yeah, which is one of the main reasons I like Brickworld Chicago, is because I escape 2 weeks of cold weather.
Yeah, you get to enjoy the summer again.
Just for 2 weeks, while all of my countrymen suffer the first 2 weeks of winter. And I want to say that winter came a little bit earlier than what I would have wanted this year.
Yeah, it's absolutely blistering hot over here. Tomorrow is going to be, I think, 97. And then by Monday is supposed to be 99 degrees. I don't know what that breaks out into Celsius-wise.
That's almost 38.
Yeah, it's hot.
Ah, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot.
Team B, I know. I am slacking. I'm slacking.
And if you're slacking...
Brick is like, yeah.
And if you're slacking, that means you need some motivation.
I need 36 hours in a day. That's what I need. Hey, I'll be right back. I got to get my charger for my laptop. It's at like 15%.
Yeah, and when you come back, we'll look at some of the CMFs from 25 and 26. Because we're almost done with the first of this X-foil. So we do have to push these in. But only when it gets pushed in onto the Technic bricks. But I'm not sure, are these extra pieces? Oh no, they're things that go on the ends. Yeah. So let's bring the main body back in here. And we've got to twist this around.
All right,
you know what? I think I'm enjoying this build better than the build for the Luke's Land Speeder. Because, and I think that's because it's a more interesting design of craft. But
that's cool.
Compare this to the other big sets I'm building, which is the Lego Ninjago City Gardens and the Lego Monkey Kid Megapolis. Those are more enjoyable builds for me. And I am on record saying that I don't enjoy building sets. I just have to. Much like how I don't enjoy editing videos, I just have to. However, I love building mocks. and I love
and
I'll be
honest,
setting up the props for stuff that's in my videos.
Yeah, I'll be honest, editing videos does suck.
I'm not the biggest hater of editing videos because I've got a format that works for me. But it definitely is a process. But at least I've got a streamlined process that works for my content.
Yeah, that's something I need to get better at.
Yeah, and once you find an editing style that works well for you, given which editing software you use, then it all goes like clockwork eventually.
Indeed. So, hey, since we were talking about CMFs, I brought one of them out. I don't know if you ever remember this one. Have you seen this one right here?
Yeah, because I own it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought this was a pretty cool one. I definitely got it for the medieval and the castle area, but I thought this was a pretty cool CMF.
Yeah, it's the centaur.
Yep.
Now I'm going to try and put this on the stand if I can. So it goes around this way. Yeah. So now we got it on the stand. And I'll put this back so you can see what it looks like on the stand. Do a little bit of a rotation of this.
Hey, it's starting to look good.
Yeah, that's what it looks like with the main body and one of the X foils.
That thing's pretty good size.
It is, and hopefully I'll be able to complete 2 more X foils on the next stream. So now that we're done with that, I want to go to Brickset and look at LEGO CMF 25. Let's put Brickset in the search so that we can go get the full pictures. LEGO Collectible Minifigures Series 25. And this came out in 2024, this year, this series. So, let's share the screen. And let's look at these. I'm gonna rotate this so I can get a better view. So we're gonna go through them quickly. Listing them all off, and then I was going to give my thoughts about them on a per figure basis. So they come in the random packs, as we all know. We have the film noir detective, the esports gamer, the vampire knight, the sprinter, which I own the sprinter, the goat herd, the mushroom sprite, the fitness instructor, the Triceratops costume fan, the harpy, the train kid, the fierce barbarian, and the pet groomer. And that's what they all look like in the box set. And it's yellow packaging. So I'm going to give my one-by-one thoughts. So the reason why the film noir detective has the red fish is because it's a red herring, and that's an inside joke, play on words. And that's why a lot of people wanted this guy because of the red herring fish. The esports gamer, a lot of people like it because it has the Black Falcon's torso. It's got one of those rainbow light keyboards and the rainbow light mouse. And also, I believe those lime green headphones around her neck are its own piece. This is my second favourite figure of the series. It's the Vampire Knight because it's a throwback to Basil the Batlord, who was a Fright Knight from the Fright Knights back in the late 90s.
I have like 16 of those.
Yeah. I know that a lot of people have a fuck ton of these things.
Yeah.
The Sprinter is the one that I own. I think the most attractive thing about the Sprinter is the prosthetic legs, because those medals were with the Team Great Britain Olympic CMFs back in 2012.
And I'll be honest, when I randomly bought them and I didn't weigh them out, the Sprinter and the Dog Groomer were the most likely ones that I would come across.
Maybe they weren't as popular. And everyone's already said everything about the Goat Herd. It's the best by far because of one reason, the greatest of all time.
Indeed.
Now, the mushroom sprite is something that has a big audience because people really like the mushroom characters, and people really like the mushroom house that's a Bricklink Designer program set. I'm not that kind of fairy tale creature fan, so I do like the mushroom figures that LEGO does, but I'm not the one that needs to buy them. I just have an appreciation for them. The fitness instructors.
I was gonna say, I saw a lot of people actually wanted that just for the mushroom hat, just for that alone, to use in landscaping.
Yeah, because you can use that as an actual mushroom as foliage, kind of like how people use the Marge Simpson hair as foliage in their coral reefs. The fitness instructor, they've done this concept a lot of times over. I remember getting one in the series 15, the series 17 CMFs. So this is another rehash. Or the dinosaur people were excited to see this because I believe this is the second time we've got a LEGO CMF dinosaur. We've gotten LEGO CMF reptiles, 3 others in the past, but we've only gotten 2 dinosaurs, and they've done back-to-back CMF series with dinosaurs in them, and I like it because it's in that really cool olive green. Olive green is a nice color for dinosaurs. I know a lot of fantasy collectors really liked the Harpy because it's straight out of lore of something that they really like. A lot of the train nerds really liked this train kid because it's such a cute figure. The way they got the printed firebox door with the number 25, the way they used the plume piece for the smoke coming out of the funnel, and that whole costume, the green, all that green is a single mold. Those red, actually though, that might be dual molded with the red wheels, but it's just a really cute figure. I don't hear.
Yeah, I've actually got that for the Christmas area.
Yeah, with the red and green color, it looks a lot like Christmas. I don't hear a lot of people talking about the Fierce Barbarian, probably because much like the fitness instructor, it's a rehashed concept that they keep doing over again. But I got to say that sword is something that's a little bit different from other swords they've done before. It's a slightly different sculpture for that sword. And then finally, the pet groomer. All of the dog collectors really like dogs, and that's just about everything I can say about this. They've done other. This is another rehashed concept. I remember getting the dog show judge in the series 16 CMFs. We got the dog walker in, I think, series 20. And I made a big joke about it at the time because the dog walker, it had not only the poop piece, but an unrealistically coloured bright green shovel. Like, where in your life have you ever seen a bright green shovel? I always thought that was a ridiculous colour.
Yeah. Lego does that sometimes. They make a good fig, but they miscolor something.
Yeah, and if you want to see some really wacky, crazy colors, go back to the Fabuland figures from the late 70s and the 80s. So now let's move on to the series 26, which is what's available right now. A lot more people have thoughts about these because a lot of space fans like this stuff.
I do like the astronaut.
Yeah. So it's in a purple packaging and it's got the space logo, the classic space logo up the top there. And that's what all of the figures look like complete. So let's go to them one by one. This is possibly the best, this is possibly the best and most complex civilian astronaut that Lego has ever done.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't just
like
come...
a city astronaut.
Yeah, a civilian astronaut. It doesn't just come with a singular tool. It comes with actual extensions off of its spacesuit. With those printed cheese slopes that are technological devices instead of being a separate handheld device. They could have cheaped out doing that, but no, they bothered to build it within the spacesuit, which is pretty groovy in my opinion. I really like that.
Groovy.
And also the printing isn't half bad either. Then we got the imposter. This is a pretty basic one, but you can see with the antenna sticking out of its head that the aliens have control over this person. And I really like the nanofigs being used. The microfigs being used as baby wall Martians.
That almost reminds me of Space or Alien Conquest when they had the aliens that would go over the head.
Yeah, because back in 2011 they made alien head molds that could go over the top of a minifigure head, and every time we say space. Covering this stuff, I will say space, the final frontier. Then we got the alien tours.
Hey, by the way, we got Cliff in the chat. Yo, Cliff, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Cliff?
He said he's on his wife's phone.
Yeah, because I can see from the name. Hope you're enjoying yourself at Nashville. Enjoyed seeing Hoosiers trains on your Instagram live stream earlier. Yeah, so whenever we get people from Clickin' and Brickin' that come up in here, you haven't seen this yet, Cliff, but whenever yourself or Cal come up in here in the future, we're going to play this.
Moo!
Anyway, so the alien tourist, something I really like about this guy, not only is it a dark turquoise, a bucket hat, which we don't get too many bucket hats with figures, but also its torso underneath the yellow jacket that has Earth on it. It's kind of a twist on the I Heart New York t-shirts, but it says I Heart Earth, and I presume that the I is covered by his yellow jacket. So I really like that small reference. And
also, is that turquoise the power or yeah, wait. Is that no. I'm sorry. Rock Raiders. Is that the Rock Raiders turquoise?
Yeah, that's the same dark turquoise from Rock Raiders.
Yeah, that's a rare color.
Now, the retro space heroine, this reminds me of something out of Plan 9 from Outer Space. Space! The final frontier. Because I could just imagine if Plan 9 from Outer Space was remade in the color TV era, because Plan 9 from Outer Space was a black and white movie. Even though it came out in the late 50s, it was still black and white because it was such a low budget film. I could just imagine Eros's female companion looking like this if that movie was in color TV.
Is the dog a robot dog?
I'm pretty sure, because it looks like it's in a metallic silver color, which means any printing
with red eyes,
where the people's faces are grey or silver means it's robotic or alien. Because like the alien tourist's skin is grey, like Roger the alien from American Dad, and that dog is silver, so it has to be a robot.
It looks like it has red eyes also.
Yeah, like it's been activated to bite something. But so if you know the movie Plan 9 from Outer Space, you know the scene where the humans make contact with Eros and his accomplice, who is female. This is what this figure reminds me of, particularly because it's a retro space, and in a lot of the pre-Apollo Saturn V stuff, space movies, they had alien weapons that looked like that. So it's very indicative of the late 50s and the 60s. So whenever I see a space figure that looks like this, there was something similar. There was a male version in the Series 17 CMFs, which was also a retro space astronaut. It just makes me want to quote Plan 9 from Outer Space, because of death. Because all you of Earth are idiots. Now you just hold on there, Buster. No, you hold on. Yeah, I have a soft spot for Plan 9 from Outer Space. Anyway, M-Tron Powerlifter, this is the third best figure of the series.
Yep, you're him and Bricktron are right there neck and neck for me.
That torso,
or I said Bricktron, Blacktron.
Yeah, that torso is almost identical to the original M-Tron torso. The only difference is it's got the lining for the collar on his neck, and it's got the little bit of lining around his waist for some greebling. So the reason the torso is so good is because, much like the figures from
the El Dorado Fortress or the 90th Anniversary Castle. It's a neo-classic version of an M-Tron fig.
I do like the upgraded. It would be a magnet arm, but I do like the upgraded arm. That's an awesome attachment on the backpack there. And then M-Tron, for those that don't know, stands for magnetron or whatever.
Yeah, because all of the space things in the 90s had a gimmick. So M-Tron was the magnets, Explorians was the things you could use a code reader with. Like if you got one of the magnifying glasses, and you could see blue and red on a black tile.
Yeah,
et
and it would
cetera.
show a different. Yeah, and it would show a different image under a different color.
Yeah. The Blacktron were the robbers. Spirius were the robotic aliens. Insectoids were insect craft. What were some of the other gimmicks? Ice Planet had the trans-orange chainsaw. Space Police were the Space Police were the police. UFO were the traditional sci-fi aliens with the flying saucers, and those were some of the notable gimmicks. But I'm pretty sure there were other gimmicks in some of the lesser known space things back then. Space, the final frontier, and I don't believe that this printing was in any of the M-Tron sets, but it was designed to look like something out of M-Tron. Then we got the nurse android. Everyone likes this because of the pink space baby.
Yep.
And I must say that blue hair would make for a good college. Would make for a good college student at UCLA or Columbia University right now. Look like
That's
someone
too funny.
graduating. Yeah, look like someone graduating with a social studies diploma.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we got the flying saucer.
Exactly,
costume.
man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just pulling out all of those references that a select amount of people will understand. Yeah. Then the flying saucer costume. This also reminds me of 60s sci-fi.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's nice to get green heads. This is the best figure of this series. It's the Ice Planet Explorer. One, it's a female Ice Planet. Two, it's a neoclassic version because it's got that. Yes, I do think so because it's got that. It's got that Castle Knight armor, but recolored into blue. Three, it's got a beefy version of the orange chainsaw. Two, it's got an incredibly sculpted helmet, and five, it's got the penguin. You can't go past getting a penguin with an Ice Planet figure. It's just really good.
Yeah, I do like this one. The only thing I wish is that the penguin was more normal. But other than that, is that I do really like it. And you're right, it does have quite the setup on it that would look more like what you would expect to see somebody on ice planet in a faraway galaxy wearing.
And I just want to go to somewhere really quickly.
That robot butler reminds me of Danger Will Robinson. It's like Lost in Space.
Space, the final frontier. And the robot butler is just, it's okay. I like the fact that its legs look like springs, and it looks like it's one of those 90s style robots with the big heavy feet and the small roller wheels, and also to get that bowl head covering that looks like Sandy Cheeks vomited inside is nice.
It's too funny.
And then the alien Beetlezoid kind of looks like something you could stick in with the insectoids just because it's an insect. I must say, I really like the combination of the purple 3-leaf plant. Actually, that's a lavender 3-leaf plant and a purple ice cream scoop for some alien foliage. That's nice.
Yep.
And then the Orion has a lot of trans purple, and its shield is the Orion star constellation.
That's cool.
Got a lot of trans purple in there, and it's got abs.
Well, Orion is supposed to be a warrior. He's supposed to have a bow, though. Not a club.
Interesting that he doesn't. And the last one is the Blacktron mutant, who is the second best, in my opinion. I want to get a closer up of this guy. So he's got the butt chop mohawk. He's got the green leg. He's got the neoclassic version of the Blacktron 2 torso with extra lining on its waist and a black V shape for the collar above the beam. He's got green infection around his right eye, which is purple. He's got a Darth Vader mouth breathing type device. Looks like he's got his right arm has grown an extra limb and he's been able to hold 2 weapons with those 2 arms. And I think that that combo arm is one mold.
I was getting ready to say, is there any fig that they've ever made that came out with 2 arms on one side like that?
I think the closest we've gotten is the Garmadon figures from Ninjago that had 4 arms.
Got you.
Yeah. So that was all of the figures from Series 25 and Series 26. Those are my thoughts. Let us know your thoughts about these CMFs in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And we're done sharing. So let's see what everyone was saying. And the British Life says, I don't know how to edit, so all my videos are one and done. I'm computer stupid. I know a lot of people like that. British Life, I only want 4 of them: the goat farmer, mushroom person, train conductor, and the dog groomer. Of them, I only need the goat farmer. The gamer does have some cool printed pieces. The imposter has 2 faces. Nice. It's always good when the CMFs get a double face print. Says the microfigs are inside the fig like a robot. That explains it. And Nessa says, I want the imposter, retro space heroine, nurse android, and the ice planet explorer, and maybe Orion. Yeah, I only want the ones that are throwbacks to vintage space, and also says the Jetsons May robot could take the robot butler. That'd be interesting. Stick some of these into the Jetsons, particularly the robot characters. Here's boy Elway.
She's talking about Rosie.
Yeah, in reference to the robot butler. So anyway, that was today's episode. Let us know your thoughts about CMFs in general, and or your deeper thoughts about your opinions about series 25 and 26. That's all I had to say. This has been an okay episode. I'm just really anxious to get all these big sets built, and I'm glad I can talk to you, RC, while I'm building all of this, because otherwise I would be bored out of my mind.
Yeah, no, we've already had this discussion. We know that you're not really a set builder.
Yeah, I much prefer mocks, but I haven't been able to build mocks in forever, which is sad. Also, I just at the end here, I am uploading my first episode of Excavator Digger TV. It is my new YouTube channel I launched on my birthday. It is a channel dedicated to set 614. I will do more publicity about it after the first episode premieres this weekend. We'll talk about that more on next week's episode when that has come out. And I also filmed a short about it as well that'll come out over the weekend. Yeah, so we're about to wrap up.
I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Yeah, I've got a scheduled community post for it that'll be coming out
nice.
soon. So to drum up publicity for episode 1. So who did we have in the chat? We had co-host Johnny's Alternate, Johnny Jean, Gladiator Bricks Productions, Trebs Reborn, Dave Bricks 76, Clever Pig, The Brick is Life, Lego Team B, Chris McBricker, Rob Claxton, Stud Sidious, Wenchie Bowling, Miss Amby, who else? Cliff's wife. And that was everyone. So any final thoughts before we end this episode?
No, I really appreciate being on here. Appreciate everybody tuning in as usual. Thanks for hanging out. So the city progress and updates will be a little slow right now, but I just go ahead. I was saying, go ahead, Mayo.
Yeah, this episode's been full of lag. Let me go get the link for Hive's stream, and then we can all wait on over there. Oh, we've gotten we've gotten two new subscribers today, which has been good. So I'll put up. So
nice.
Go rate Hive.
Hey, Brick is Life. I don't have Discord. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So there we go. Go right on over Hive. I'll see you on my next short. I'll see you on my next live stream, which as always is at 9 p.m. Eastern on a Friday night in North America. which is 11 AM Australian Eastern every Saturday. And I'll see you in the next video. So let's roll the credits. Bye, guys.
Later, guys.
Let's roll the credits.
Thank you for supporting Mayo Hosko Media. Your viewership is very important to us. Tell YouTube you like us by smashing the like button. Let your thoughts be known in the comments down below. Never miss out on any more LEGO content from us by hitting the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. Stay tuned for live streams every Friday night at 9 PM Eastern in North America and monthly city updates on the last Wednesday or Thursday of every month. If you like Minecraft and gaming streams, follow us on Twitch, Mayo_Hosko, no capital letters. Twitch streams every Saturday morning at 8 AM Eastern in North America. To be in the know, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at real_MayoHosko. Have fun with us on our Discord server. Friend us on Facebook and join the fan club group. For business inquiries, email us at mayohosko@gmail.com. For historical inquiries, check out our website. For special community perks, including behind the scenes, voting rights, and early access videos, become an investor today by pledging to us on Patreon. Links in the description. Watch this video recommended to you, or check out this playlist if you missed any previous videos of the same genre. This has been Mayo Hosko, and I am a fan of old LEGO.